This video was recorded live before a canned studio audience. It's Friday Night Movie Reviews, and here they are, Chris and Keith.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Keith,
I'm Chris.
and this is Friday Night Movie Reviews. We have a guest star with us.
Yep.
Our guest star is none other than Galactus. So, hope you enjoyed this. Here we are.
We didn't get consumed by Galactus after all.
No, fortunately.
And neither did this movie, by the way.
Neither did this movie. So we went and saw a movie recently, and it's a new release. And we went and saw what?
The Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Four, or as they say in the Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four.
They went out of their way with the 50 and 60s aesthetic in the film.
Yes, they did. Absolutely.
Very stylized. It was refreshing to see a comic book movie look like a comic book movie for a change.
Yeah, actually it was. It really was. I mean, all the way from the all of the fonts, you know, for like the credits and the fonts for the titles and that sort of thing, and then the like accordion kind of thing that said Marvel on it.
Yeah.
All of that looked like something from like Bewitched or something like that.
I'm like, okay, thank you for attention to detail. I mean, that's the kind of thing I wanted. And then on top of that, it was a movie.
Right.
Marvel. Hello.
Right.
Welcome back. Yeah. Question mark. To be continued.
So, the Fantastic Four, the basic premise of the movie is that you have a group of people, in case you don't know anything about the Fantastic Four from the previous, 4 movies? They've made three or 4.
Well, this is technically the 4th iteration. The Roger Corman one don't really count, so really it's the 3rd. You had that god-awful one they made a few years ago, the Josh Trank one.
Yeah.
And then you had the 2 that Jessica Alba did, with Chris Evans that played Captain America.
Right.
You had those 2 that they did. So this is the 3rd time around.
Okay.
We'll be fair to the original ones, even though that movie never technically came out.
Okay, movies that have the title
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Yep.
This makes the 4th?
4th, technically.
The 4th iteration of the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
All right. So, with the basic premise of the movie, you have this group of people, super smart astronaut scientist people that launch themselves into space, and they hit this radiation storm while they're in space, and then they come back and they have these superpowers.
Yep. And this go around, they kind of did like how we saw with Superman. If you haven't watched that review, shameless plug, I think you should watch it. They just throw you into this. They've been the Fantastic Four for 4 years at this point.
Right.
So they've already established. So they skip over a lot of the stuff like Ben getting used to looking like the Thing.
Right.
Johnny's already been Johnny for a while, being the Human Torch.
The Human Torch. Yeah.
So the family dynamic is already there and established. So it may be a little startling if you've never seen any Fantastic Four movie, because you are just being thrown into it.
And if you haven't seen, or if you don't know anything about the Fantastic Four, it can be a little disorienting, because you don't know. I mean, it's this group of people. You don't really know that they're a family right off. It has to explain it. And then they have these superpowers, but you don't know how they got them. But they kind of explain those sort of things.
Yeah, and they do it through the newsreel at the beginning,
Right.
They kind of, and that was a nice way of doing it to kind of get you caught up.
Instead of going through this long, drawn out origin process kind of thing. They
Now-
showed newsreels of how the Fantastic Four became the Fantastic Four
Mhm.
and the things that they have done as the Fantastic
Now, here's
Four.
something that Keith definitely will like. They didn't do the Superman route where they pulled a Lex Luthor and you got Doctor Doom again
Right,
for the 4th time around.
right,
Doctor Doom is not even in this movie, guys.
Right.
Like,
right.
it's amazing. You can make it and not keep using the same
The
villain.
same villain over and over and over again. When you have, like in Superman's case, 100 years worth of supervillains to pull from, and you only use one.
Yeah. And, the Fantastic Four, they've been around, what, 60 years? at
Yeah,
this
they've
point?
been around for a long time.
So-
a long time.
So they have a history of villains. So this time around, as the trailers and maybe the popcorn bucket that was sitting before you didn't reveal who the main villain of this movie was, it was none other than Galactus
None
this
other
time around.
than Galactus.
Now, what I like about it is because they skipped a lot of the origin stuff. We can get to kind of the more of the meat and the bones of the characters that we want to do.
Right.
Like this time around, she's pregnant, and that's not spoiling anything. She is pregnant with their first child, Franklin.
Right.
And that's revealed in the trailer, so that's not spoiling anything if you have not seen the movie yet. So Franklin Richards is in this, and that has never been seen in any of the other iterations of the characters.
And this is more of a character development kind of film, rather more than anything else. Yes, there's action. Yes, there is a super villain. Yes, there's superpowers being used. Yes, there's danger. Blah 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 blah. But it's more about the character development, and it's more about the family dynamic.
I agree.
Because the Fantastic Four is a family.
Yep. They're not a superhero team like the X-Men. They
Right.
are a family. And that was the one thing I was worried about. I was like, okay, are they going to really show these characters as a family interacting? And they'd gotten over a lot of the early things that they got to skip, where the Human Torch really picks on the Thing a whole lot. And he still does it to a degree in this movie,
Right.
but not like you'd seen in the past.
Right.
So a lot of the squabbling that you first would have imagined we would have seen if we'd seen them at the beginning of their journey, we're already past that. So now we can kind of get to more of the meat and the bones of these characters and
Right.
really see some character development.
Right.
The Thing is still struggling, that he's lonely, he hasn't met a romantic connection, and maybe they hinted at one in the future in this film without giving any spoilers. I like seeing that. They gave him his Brooklyn accent that I wanted so badly.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. And not only that, but they made him Jewish.
They made him Jewish, yes.
Like he is in the comics.
Yes, and I'm so thankful that they got these characters right. I'd heard rumors online that Johnny wasn't going to act like Johnny, that Sue Storm wasn't going to act like Sue Storm, Reed Richards wasn't going to act like Reed Richards. And
Yeah.
I watched the movie, and all of that was just
Yeah.
made up rumors to try to hurt the film.
Yeah.
And all that. Or people.
I had heard the same thing about the Human Torch, that that the actor was gonna take on a different, take it in a different direction, and blah 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 blah. But I didn't see any of that with this.
He was still flirty with
Right.
with the Silver Surfer lady, and now I understand
Yeah.
why they went with the female one. It totally worked for the narrative
totally
of the film.
fits.
And
Totally fits.
And my thing is like the real Silver Surfer could still be out there, because now he's going to be mad at this female one,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
And so
And in the comics, doesn't the no spoilers for the movie here? This is from the comics.
from the comics,
In the comics, doesn't the female version, isn't she like killed at some point?
Yep.
Okay.
She
All right.
dies. So
And it's probably because Galactus gets really ticked off.
Yeah, I would think so. So that's not to spoil anything for the movie universe. And we want to press it that this does take place not in the main Marvel 616 universe. This
Right.
is 828.
Because at the beginning it says Earth 828.
And they explain why they numbered it that
Right.
too.
Yeah,
Which I
they
thought
do.
that was very.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and
I
we
thought
won't
that
spoil
was
that
really
for
cool.
you. Watch all the way through the credits, and there is
Right.
there's a begin credit scene at the beginning of the credits, and there's one at the very end. The one at the very end's for the gag, but I don't want you to miss the reason why they named it 828. So please stay and watch the credits.
Right.
The credits for this one were not incredibly long.
No,
I got through it pretty quickly. The movie itself was pretty fast paced.
it was.
If you're worried about like pacing with this movie, it had the right amount of pacing. I mean, granted, the only thing I was really missing is I wanted more of the Thing. I felt like out of all the characters, I felt like he got the least amount of screen time.
He did get the least amount. I don't remember there being any foul language in this movie.
No. They
I mean, there may have been here or there, but it was so sparse that I don't remember.
They kind of stuck to the 50s, 60s where they didn't talk like that back then.
Right.
And I really appreciated it that they kind of stuck to their guns on that. But no, I mean, all the characters acted the way they were supposed to. It aesthetically was nice to look at. It was just a good-looking movie.
Now, when we say the 50s and 60s, what you have to understand is, even though this is Earth 828, all of the costuming, all of the cars, all of the gadgets, the technology, except for the Fantastic Four, of course, but all of the regular everyday technology that you see, all of the buildings, the architecture, everything is like it's just pulled straight from the 50s.
Yeah, it does. It honestly made me think of Fallout. Another shameless plug for another one of our videos.
Yeah, we reviewed that one too.
So if the bombs hadn't fallen in Fallout, that's what this universe would look like.
Yeah, it looked really nice. It was a really nice looking movie. The music was great. It was it didn't have, I don't remember, like I said, don't remember any foul language. Now, as far as violence goes,
it does have that.
It has violence in it, but of course, it's a comic book superhero movie. So, I mean, if you're going to make a comic book superhero movie,
they've got to fight.
You can't really have a non-violent comic book superhero movie. But it wasn't like gore violence. They weren't chopping people's heads off or blowing people's brains out.
No blood, nothing like that.
No blood. It wasn't anything like that. It was straight comic book style violence. In fact, one of the scenes with Galactus is pulled straight from the comics.
They didn't hold back. Like I said, I was really impressed, and I have to say that, like, you know, our complaint of some of the last Marvel movies, like the special effects have not been up to par. This one, Galactus looked like he was there.
Yeah, he looked like he was Galactus, and he looked like he was there.
I mean, the thing had texture on him.
Yeah.
He looked like he was physically there, and that was a CGI. That was not a dude in a suit.
He was growing a beard.
Yeah, like they really pulled out the money for this one. It's a shame that Marvel is in the state that it is, where I think that that's what's going to ultimately hurt the film. Is like same way with Thunderbolts, is that people are going to pass it over because they've been so like let down by Marvel, and
not just by Marvel, but they've been let down by the Fantastic Four, because they've probably gone and seen the Fantastic Four movies before and been like, you know what? I've seen Fantastic Four movies. They're just not that good.
Yeah, you know, and I was afraid, you know, I honestly was. I was like, this is going to be 3 strikes, you're out. If you can't get it right this time, you're never going to get it right.
Right.
But I can gladly say that, no, this one actually is superior to a lot of the ones that we've seen lately.
Yeah, it is far superior to the former Fantastic Four movies. But as far as the violence goes, as far as the language goes, as far as everything else, no adult situations at all whatsoever, as far as all of that goes, there wasn't any of that in it. So yeah, you could very safely take your kids to see this movie.
Oh yeah, no problem
not just because of that, but because of the fact that it's a, like we said before, it has a family dynamic to it.
Yep.
Think of
The Incredibles.
Think of a live action Incredibles movie.
Yeah.
And there you go. You've got the Fantastic Four just about. All the way down to Mole Man.
I mean, who would have ever thought we would ever get to see Mole Man on screen?
Exactly.
Like, he was such a campy character, but they pulled it out. And I like the actors that they chose. He was one of the comedic actors from Cobra Kai. He played Stingray on there.
Yeah, Stingray.
And when I saw him, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Stingray. I said, what a clever choice. And we're going to see him again in an upcoming movie, The Naked Gun. He's in that one. So
too bad they couldn't get Brad Raffensperger to play the part of, I am Mole Man.
Oh, I know, that would have been. I would have probably got out of my seat and started clapping. If that
would have been hilarious if they'd have had him there. But yes, this is somewhat kind of like a live action Incredibles movie.
You know, and this is what I was actually waiting for Disney to do, was this, and I didn't understand from the beginning, once they got the rights to do this movie, why didn't they do it sooner?
Right.
Because I felt like this is in Disney's wheelhouse. This is what they know better than anybody, is family dynamic, family movies. And it's like, this should have been like a shoe-in from the start. Go ahead and do this one.
Right.
And it's a shame that they took as long as they did to get there, but I'm glad that they did. And I really paid off. Kudos to the director who directed this one.
Right.
They, you know, like they said, they finally listening to the fans. Are using source material.
Exactly. That's one of the things that really gets me about this is they're actually using the comic books. They're going back to the comics to actually get their stories, and not just get their stories, but to get the action in the movie instead of just, hey, let's make this up and let's just do our own thing. And like another director said, they can do whatever with canon.
You know, another thing I'll mention too is you can watch this as a standalone.
Yeah.
Because it's in its own universe.
Yeah.
You don't have to have watched any of the other Marvel movies.
Nope.
You can go in blind to this as a casual fan, never read the comics, and enjoy this movie.
And you never had to have watched the other Fantastic Four movies, because it does not tie in with them whatsoever.
Yeah.
None at all. I mean, this is kind of like they've just wiped the slate clean, especially from the last one that they made.
Oh, the Josh Trank one, yeah.
That one was
I didn't notice it, but apparently the guys that played the Fantastic Four in the unreleased Roger Corman one that you can watch on YouTube for free, they apparently cameoed in this movie. I didn't see them in the film, but
really?
But I've got to. And again, this is the reason why buy the Blu-ray, you buy it on digital, you watch it on Disney Plus.
Have to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, because I want to see what scene they were in, because they never got their shot, because that movie was not ever released.
Right.
Somebody leaked it out, and it's been leaked on bootlegs at flea markets from the time it was made until it is now.
Wow.
And so I'm glad they did those people some justice, because there was rights issues, and that's why that movie never got released. They made more money to not release it, was my understanding. It's weird. I would. There's been documentaries and stuff on it, so if you can find you can do some research on that. I highly recommend. It's an interesting story to read about, especially if you like Roger Corman, especially because I do. He's kind of the B-rate movie king back in the day.
Wow.
To one of your awesome classics, Star Crash. Yeah. One day we will review that movie.
Star Crash.
I will. We'll definitely do that one day. To be fun.
Crash.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about this movie, Chris?
I really liked it. I thought it was a fun time from beginning to end. I enjoyed it. The characters felt like the characters. The casting, while I was a little hesitant, I'm like, okay, Pedro Pascal is in everything. Like right now, there are 3 movies at the movie theater with him in it now as we speak. Yeah. I'm like, he's a little overexposed, but I have to say he played Reed Richards fine. Like I was like, dang it, you're a good actor though. That's the part that's so off about it.
I mean, he was believable as Reed Richards. I was afraid that he would not come off.
He would be Pedro Pascal.
He would be Pedro Pascal, and that he would not come off well as Reed Richards. But watching him, I was like,
yeah.
Okay, you're Mr. Fantastic.
You're about the science and everything else, and your wife has to kind of bring you back to reality.
Right, exactly.
And it was nice to see that yin and yang, like they felt like they were a real couple in the film.
Yeah, they really did.
And I was like, okay, this is a lot better than the Jessica Alba one, because they didn't have any chemistry at all.
No,
and
not really.
And that was one thing that like they did never really solidify as a family, like. But this movie, right off the bat, you really do feel like, okay, yeah, this is a family. Like,
I mean, you even felt like the Human Torch and Sue were brother and sister.
Yeah. Like
I really felt like they were brother and sister.
Yeah, like he was trying to help her brother out, find somebody to be with and stuff. And I'm like, my sister's done that.
Very available, ladies.
Yeah, like my sister would have totally done that for me.
Right.
Like that's but yeah, fantastic. Haha. Nice fun. Fantastic movie. I've got nothing really negative to say about it, other than I wanted more, because the thing to me, he's more of a tragic character.
Yeah.
I would have wanted to see more of that, and maybe they're saving that for like later sequels or later appearances, like in the Avengers movies. They're coming out in the next 2 concurrent years. That may be what they're saving it for, and I'd be fine with that too.
Right.
But that's really my only real like criticism I have is I just didn't get really enough of the thing. Like I
Right.
felt like he was the most sidelined, and then that may have been too for financial reasons because clearly he's a CGI character that has to be on screen. So I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's true.
Because he's not like the Hulk that can turn back to Mark Ruffalo. You know,
Exactly. He's totally and completely
the thing all the time. Yeah, but they did good casting. Clearly, the there's a teacher character in it played by Natasha Lyonne. She's from American Pie. Most people will know her. Great because she normally has a Brooklyn accent, anyways. So she was great for the film, and she's obviously the hinted love interest of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really a spoiler to say that. Now, is she the puppet master's daughter? Question mark. I'll leave the audience to question that if you know the comics real well. I got to leave them guessing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But what did you think of the movie?
Well, I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was definitely a good fun summer movie to go see.
Okay.
It was had a good family aspect to it. I did think that there were some places where it was a little dry, a little bit dry. I felt like
I could see that.
I felt like at times it took you right to the edge, and then before it got really emotional or just made that huge impact like the other Avengers movies have made, it pulled back and was like, psych.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of like that. And I mean, we've discussed it before about the whole AI thing and the writer's strike. I think that I feel like this movie was probably a product of what we've discussed before, just you and I, that this was written when the writers were on strike or before they went on strike, and it was written by AI, and somebody just came in and kind of brushed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why it felt a little bit dry in places, because if you really think about it, AI cannot give you that emotional punch like a human writer can give you. And I think that's part of the reason why. And if I'm just blowing hot air, then hey, you know what? Or if I'm some kind of conspiracy minded nut, then hey, let me know in the comments. But that's what I feel about the writing of this. I felt like it did fall flat a little bit in some places. Now, the whole movie overall, I really enjoyed it. One of the reasons why I really enjoyed it was because one of my favorite Marvel bad guys was in this movie. Galactus. Galactus is one of my favorite Marvel bad guys, and it's because he is so humongous and he is so indestructible. He is terrible. He's a menace, and he is very fearsome. And he was in this movie, and that's one of the reasons why I liked it so much.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And they did a marvelous job. He towered over the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four were this size, like if they're standing on my shoulder. They were that size compared to Galactus. I mean, he was huge, and they made him believably huge.
Yeah, they did. And again, he looked real. He actually looked like he was actually there. He was a posable threat to them. I mean, to be honest with you,
the whole world, he was a posable threat.
They were throwing everything they could at him, and so, and you see a little bit of that in that trailer, but really once you see it in the grand scale, because I was worried how much of a feel it would have, and it did. It was definitely there. And I felt like they had the right actor playing the character with the voice. His voice was what I always imagined Galactus would sound like.
Exactly.
So good on them again with the casting.
The comedy was there. I mean, it wasn't like overwhelming where you're just like, really, you're making another joke. There was a comedy there. There was banter. I mean, look, guys,
you banter with your family.
It's a husband and wife and a brother-in-law with a best friend. And there's going to be banter back and forth, and that's the way they did. But it was not overwhelming, and it did not take away from the film at all.
Two, also, they fought against the Marvel grain where they would have an emotional scene and then they would make a Marvel joke. That's what we're going to call that at this point, the Marvel joke.
Right.
They didn't do it in this one, and I was waiting for it. I'm like, okay, where's the corny Marvel joke coming after the emotional gut punch?
Right.
And they didn't do it. They
didn't do it.
They resisted.
But like I said, there were times, even during some of the action, there were some times that it did fall a little bit flat. But overall, the special effects, the action, the fighting, the everything about this movie was, to me, over the top. Yes, and I think it sounds weird that I say, well, you said it fell flat in a couple of places, but now you're saying it's over the top. Yes, both.
Both.
And when I say over the top, I don't mean over the top as in they overdid it. I mean, it was over the top, like, yes, big thumbs up to you on that.
Yeah.
Because they did it, and they
didn't have to
well.
be in an Avengers movie to do that either,
right.
Which was nice.
Right.
You're not saving it for an Avengers movie.
Right.
So,
if you were to rate this movie, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was fun. And
was it fantastic?
It was fantastic. Now,
what would you give it as far as rating goes?
The question is this movie worth your cash or is it trash? This movie is definitely worth your cash. I would go and I would support this movie. I've had my disagreements with Disney here in the past, and I still have some disagreements with them, but I would definitely go and support this movie to show them this
is what we want.
Is the kind of stuff we want. This is how we want Marvel movies done.
Yep.
Like this. Like
more
Guardians of the Galaxy. Like the original Avengers movies. This is how we want them done. So, definitely worth your cash.
Yep.
If you were to rate it, how many Pepsis would you give it?
I'm going to go with a solid 8 out of 10 on this one.
A solid 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to give it about the same, and the only reason why I'm giving it 8 is because there were a couple of flat spots in it. But other than that, if those flat spots had not been there, I would probably give it a much higher rating.
Yeah, the flat spots, the thing not getting as much screen time as I would have liked. That was because I kind of gravitate towards the tragic characters,
right?
And I always saw him as a tragic character, and to see him finally find like the love of his life and all that is really meaningful to me.
Right.
And I was hoping to get to see more of a nugget of that in this movie. So it's just like it was kind of like what you were talking about. They would get you there and then pull back.
Right.
Yeah, and exactly. I get what you're saying now. They totally did that to you. It was a little bit of a tease.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tease.
Yeah, and I that was the one thing that I didn't like about it was, follow through.
Yep.
Follow through with it.
We're adults. Give it to us.
Make me cry. Make me mad. Make me scream and yell. And oh my gosh, speaking of screaming and yelling, the theater that we were in was packed.
I bet it was.
It was packed. And there were so many people there, and these people were reactive. They were reacting to the movie, and there was a part in it where it deserved a cheer and a clap. And nobody did it until I did, and then everybody did it. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're supposed to cheer and clap here," and so that's what happened. And it was great. It was really good. There was electricity in the audience, and it was great. So I give it 8 out of 10 popcorns, mostly because there were some spots that were not as emotionally oomph as they should have been. You give it 8 out of 10. Pepsis. How many bowls of rice would you give it?
8.
8. That's my wife, by the way, y'all. And she gives it 8 out of 10 bowls of rice. Now, I took my son to see it too. We went get this, we went and saw the Fantastic Four as the Thrilling Three.
There you go. Okay.
And we went and saw this family superhero movie as a family. It was great. It was great. Now, my son, he said he gives it infinity number of slices of pizza out of 10, which sounds kind of normal for him.
Yeah, that's pretty normal praise for him. Yeah, yeah. His scale difference. That's what we're kind of used to.
Yeah. So he really enjoyed this movie as well, and so you can take your kids to see this movie, and they will like it. They will enjoy it. They'll have fun with it. You can take your wife to see it, your girlfriend to see it, and they will probably enjoy it because it's got a baby in it. I mean, that's kind of a chick thing anyway. It's got a baby, and the chicks are gonna dig the baby thing. So yeah, I mean, it was very, very well done, and I had a lot of fun. I thought it was really great, really great.
Yep.
And would you? I don't really have much negative to say about this.
No,
movie.
we kind of covered it. I mean, it seems like maybe they're watching our reviews out there and fixing the criticisms we're bringing up.
Maybe not our reviews.
Probably not our reviews, yeah. But maybe the collective conscious of the audience, they're finally saying, maybe we should listen to them a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we should listen to the fans, the people who actually read the comic books.
Not those 10 people on Twitter with the colored hair. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Yeah. So this was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Well, there is our cue to go.
Yep. Remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification for when our next video drops. Leave us a comment. What did you think of the Fantastic Four? We'd like to hear from you. What was your criticisms of the movie? Just let us know. And as always, thank you for watching.
And listen, hey, like I said, this was fun. I really enjoyed it. And if you're looking for a good, fun summer movie to go and see, maybe you missed some of the other ones that we reviewed, don't miss this one. Get in your car, get some friends together, get your family together, get your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever, not your wife and your girlfriend, and y'all go and see this movie. And you know what? When you're sitting there and you're drinking your soda, you're eating your popcorn, don't forget one thing. You need to remember to enjoy your movie.